players he had was Pep Guardiola, I believe is the right name. He was from Spain. And he became not only a great player and a great coach. So there have been some great coaches, but here's the key. Now, listen, are you listening? If you're trying to understand a disciple, think about coaching disciples. Coaching disciples is where the players, the coaches, they learn from the coach, and then they put into application what they've learned from the coach, and they multiply what the coach has taught them. These two men I've just mentioned to you, outstanding football coaches here in Europe, they have what's called a coaching tree. They have many individuals that played under them and coached under them, and they are now outstanding coaches in European football or soccer. Understanding that helps us to understand what a disciple of Christ is all about. We look at the life of Christ, the Spirit of Christ, the character of Christ. And then we look at the words of Christ and seek to put His words, His commands into action. And so when Jesus tells His disciples, go, it is both a command to go, but it's also a deeper understanding as you go about living your everyday life. We are called to make disciples. Not converts, make disciples, totally devoted followers of Christ. So understanding that, we realize that this is the mission that Jesus is giving His church. But He tells us where to go. We're to go to all the nations. Now, the word that Jesus uses is the word ethnos. Now listen very carefully. The word ethnos is where we get the word ethnic or different types of ethnicities as represented in this room here at the International Baptist Church today. And understanding that, we realize that nations' geographical boundaries and the names of nations will change. You're interim pastors from Iraq, but think about how new in history that name is following World War I, when the Brits and the French and all began to divide up the Middle East with new names and new geographical boundaries. Jesus knew that was going to happen for all these years. So in the genius of Jesus, He chose the word ethnos, which means people groups. And what is so unique about people groups is they have a common language and they have a common culture. And yes, the languages will vary a touch through the years, but the languages stay pretty constant, and the culture is something those in that culture can understand. It is not limited by geographical boundaries. It is not limited by a name that men have chosen for a geographical nation. Jesus